WCSM's General Store is brought to you by Chad's Express Lube and Car Care, Christine Flynn, your local farmer's insurance agent, and Orion Saft, the AME Group, for all your technical needs. WCSM is recorded at 70X7 Studio. And now, the General Store crew.
Well, happy Friday to you. In the 1 o'clock hour, it's WCSM's General Store, and we're glad to have you here because there's no point in doing this without you, honestly. I mean, Kurt likes to hear himself talk, but the rest of us really don't. He could actually just sit here in the studio by yourself, couldn't you, and just
talk? As funny as that is, I hate to hear myself talk. I seriously, I don't like it at all. When I review these shows, I don't watch at all. I always do the audio version first because I don't. Weren't you saying that a couple?
Yeah, so you don't really like watching yourself, but you don't like listening to yourself.
Like you were saying about the mannerisms.
Yeah.
About what?
Like that right there.
So, but yeah, I get it. It's funny, but yeah, I don't like to hear the sound of my voice. I really don't. I don't mind talking right now with you, but when I listen to it later,
playback.
No,
yeah,
that's.
It's weird.
Turn it off.
Yeah.
Turn it off. Sorry, folks.
Yeah. So, well, anyway, we're glad you're here because it makes what we do. I don't know if it makes it relevant.
Matter?
I'm not going to say that or matter, but at least makes it fun for us because we know that you're with us and we're so thankful you are. So speaking of that, let's get right to our top fans or good old boys and good old girls.
Yeah, I had quite a few from the couple weeks beforehand. Now, John Baker, we all know John, great guy, John Baker.
Mayor of Steinsville.
There he is, that's right. He is on a 3-week streak, okay, which is of being a riser, I think, is what he was. Now, he just was number one, our number one fan, follower, whatever you want to say.
Very good.
He came in number one. Danny Chitwood in at number 2.
Schoolmate.
Is that right?
Oh, that's
fantastic.
cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Old guy.
I wasn't going to say
Danny.
I didn't say that, Danny. Fritzy Phillips, Debbie Taylor, Jackie Rats Evans, also Danny Todd, John Hooker, Missy Panko, LaBrash, the coolest fan that we have. I love her name. Aaron Raper, Susie Rainey, and Bob Lutz.
Very good. Well, thank you. And to all of you who have followed, liked, that are sharing, that are commenting and engaging, we love it. So keep up the good work. And we, of course, this also, it kind of goes hand in hand. We're like the least of these, right? We couldn't do it without Mike and Carter, our producers. Give them a round of applause here at the 70X7 studios. We couldn't do it without you watching, but we also couldn't do it without our partners. We've got some great partners, local businesses, and we want to share with you right now one of our favorite commercials that our producer Mike has put together. Mike just is so good at this. He's so talented. And so this is probably one of our favorites. So take it away, Mike. Yeah.
Chad's Express Lube and Car Care Center is the place that you need to go to keep your car running in perfect order. On the outside chance your car is not running in perfect order, Chad's has a shop over on State Road 46 in Ellisville that'll give you a free estimate and reasonable rates and get your car back on the road. Now, to keep it that way, you need to hightail it over to Chad's Express Lube and Car Care Center located at 1357 South Liberty Drive. You know exactly where that is. That's just right around the corner from Menards. Now, check this out. Every 7th oil change is free. That's right. Absolutely free. I don't think you can get any better than that. Chad's Express Lube and Car Care Center, 1357 South Liberty Drive in Bloomington.
I love that when the graphics in that is so cool. The old car and just
the startup.
Yes.
Engine firing.
Yes. So good.
Mark Raper.
Starring Mark Raper.
There we go.
Well, most importantly, though, I do want to ask this guy what he thinks of that commercial because that's actually is Chad.
It's his.
It's his. So what did you honestly, by the way, thank you first of all for being a great partner with us here at the General Store, but what did you think of that commercial when you first saw it?
Loved it.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
And actually sent it off to the Big Shots at Valvoline and for a national campaign thing, and they, liked it, because that's who we're partnered up with.
Very good, Mike. I see that I see Mike. I see some work in your future. We're going to lose Mike and Carter doing that kind of stuff. That's awesome.
They asked me where I got it done at, and I was like, "Well, there's a referral fee."
Yes,
right.
I'll get you in contact.
There's the
attaboy.
Money.
The Cardinal fee as well.
Did you tell him after 7? Right after 7 referrals, you get right exactly.
They get a free one. Yeah.
Well, I was just doing 7th.
Right.
I was taking the sponsorship fee per month times 12, and that's the referral fee, so they can write the check.
Ooh,
that's
like
good.
That.
Nice.
That's very nice.
It could be a co-op deal. Valvoline should be getting in on this deal.
Yeah.
So, Chad, welcome to the show. We're glad to have you here again. So thankful for you jumping on board to be a partner with us at the General Store. But most importantly, talk a little bit about your business, local to Monroe County, right? Ellettsville and Bloomington, but 2 different locations that do 2 different types of services for people?
Yeah, I actually got 3 locations because I got a small engine shop that I do no advertising on. I've done it for years, and we do it out of the Ellettsville community. And then we started in 2013 here in Ellettsville, down on 46, as a little 2-bay repair shop where I strive on the actual hometown feel. Mm-hmm. You know, when you pull into my shop, we don't charge diagnostic fees. We don't charge inspections or any of that mumbo jumbo. We just want to give you a good, honest estimate, yes or no on fixing. So, and then fast forward to 3 years ago, my realtor, AJ Bowen, called and said, I got a good opportunity that just hit the market, and the right pieces had to, which is the Express Lube, which is my bread and butter, what I grew up doing all my life. So here we are.
That's awesome. So talk just a little bit about your 2-bay garage over here in Ellettsville. That's kind of where you started, as you said. What do you do everything? I mean, what can people come there? Like, I see a lot of people on, I don't know if you guys do too, on social media, Facebook in particular, saying, oh, I've asking something. Yeah. Who can I need a mechanic bad. Like, so what do you cover?
Right. Pretty much everything on, everything. I don't do engine and tranny swaps. I let other guys do that with bigger shops because I can't tie my bay up for 3 or 4 days. But just drivability, brakes, tune-ups, motor pumps, all that.
Starters, alternators, all the little things like that.
Yeah, and I've always kept my labor rate. We're the cheapest in town.
Oh, great.
Bloomington, Ellettsville, Spencer.
I believe it.
It's usually $60 to $75 an hour. Minimal on the part markup. So we try to save people where we can.
Sure. I love that.
Yeah. Yep. It's nice, isn't it?
That's definitely the hometown feel.
Yeah. And my pet peeve, if you look at repair shops, I'm not going to mention any, but at the bottom of your receipt, when you see shop supply fees, my biggest pet fee, which they charge you for the rags and the brake clean and whatever else they use. And that's $30, $40, $50 sometimes. And then if you add, they charge $140 to hook a scanner up.
Oh,
wow. Code read, it takes 2 minutes.
You mean to plug it in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What we do at both my locations, my guys plug them in and we can code read. Sometimes it takes a little further diagnostic, which we don't charge, but still, if you think about that, there's $200 that shop is doing.
Wow.
Whether it's right or wrong, that is not my call to say.
It's just not the way you do it.
Right.
Absolutely not, and I will not do that.
Yeah.
I'll shut the doors before I do that.
Outstanding.
That's incredible. That's great.
Yeah.
So, and then the Express Lube over on Liberty Drive.
Yes.
So go a little more in depth. I particularly love the fact that you can drive in, lift up, get the oil changed. They put you on the ground and you're gone just like that. But you can also go inside if you don't want to, right? I mean, the guys tell me that you can step inside or whatever. Talk a little bit about that process and the options there and your 7th oil change.
Yeah, you buy 6 and get 1 free, which basically it's a loyalty program. So if you come in and get an oil change, we're going to stamp that card, and after 6, we'll give you the 7 free. And it's basically a $10 off coupon every time you come in. So if you look at it, depending on what you're doing, it's just a $10 off coupon instead of flooding your email or your mailbox with wasted paper that you're probably not going to take in or whatever. It's just keeps it in your car and keeps you loyal. So perfect. And it's been a great program. I mean, I think we did 45 free oil changes last week, so that which is good for me because that means they're loyal. They bought 6,
that's right.
So that's why we do the program. That model there is kind of taken when I worked for my dad all them years in the oil change business, and there used to be a convention up in, I think, Fort Wayne, National Lubin News, And I met a lot of good people up there every year at the convention. Well, I hooked up with one guy named Brian, and he decided to buy a bunch of oil change centers in Florida and called me up. I was a 24-year-old punk kid and want to know if I'd move to Florida. He'd pay for everything and help him establish an oil change name down in Florida. So I took a leap of faith and did it, and hated it.
Oh, you did?
Absolutely hated Florida.
Wow.
Hated Florida. I mean, not the job.
Yeah.
So
just the heat, the traffic, the way people are, what?
Every bit of it.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing.
Check. Yes. Check.
All those things.
Nothing I like, coming from small town USA.
Sure.
I'm not into, it's kind of like living in Indianapolis. Ocala was supposed to be a horse country type deal, which I traveled the whole northern part of the state into southern Georgia. So I was on the road a lot too. Yeah. But I learned, it's funny because that was 2004 or 5.
Right.
I learned the oil change business. Of course, there's a backside to that, kind of where the Express Lube is now. That's why I'm the third owner, I think, is because I think there was a businessman that understood the oil change business where you can't have 40 vendors coming in there selling you stuff. It's got to be, that's why I stick with Valvoline. Everything we sell in that shop is Valvoline. It's top of the line. Filters, air filters, wiper blades. So we got one vendor. But anyway, going back, so I learned kind of a model down there. And down there in a lot of oil change facilities, like your national brands and stuff, the backside, the bosses are looking for how many cars you do today and what's your ticket average. So, and those guys are on commission.
Yeah.
So that's what I tell people when you go to a shop or an oil change.
Yeah.
Is your employees on commission or are they just base pay? That's a very important question.
Huge.
So, I mean, that's what so fast forward to, never thought I would use this knowledge in the oil change business again until my realtor called me 2 years ago or 3 and said, hey, I got and when I went and toured this facility, it was an absolute dump.
I remember.
And I was like,
remember.
It had each stall had 3-foot pits. And I'm like, how in the world can they, and they expected a guy to roll around on a creeper under there. So I declined buying it first. And then a week later after talks and stuff, and I was like, the owner of the property made me a super duper deal.
Nice.
So I told Janet, I was like, this is my plan.
Yeah.
And it's either going to work or it ain't with the lifts. I mean, it was, had, I put $200,000 in my own money savings.
Wow. Yeah.
I mean, it was all or nothing.
Now, do you have any pictures of what it was before?
Oh, Janet's got it.
Okay. For those who hadn't seen it, it really looks like the Taj Mahal now compared to what it was.
Yeah. I used to work down the street from it, and it's a big difference.
Yeah.
Huge. A lot nicer.
And I heard, this is stupid. We're never going to make it. It's just because we did most of the work ourselves.
Yeah.
And, now fast forward 3 years and all the credit, I had to train the guys and Janet because they never, Janet and my son never worked in this kind of environment.
Right.
And kudos to Janet and my daughters and my son.
Yeah.
I mean, because they took it and run with it.
Yeah.
Because I told them, I was like, I've done this all my life, and I do not want to be an everyday oil change guy.
Right.
I'm too old. He's hurt. And I did for the first year. It took me a year over there that I had to hire my cousin to help with the Ellisville shop. But
well, speaking of Janet and your daughters, these are the girls who meet you when you go over there.
Right.
It's a friendly face and somebody who's not making you feel a certain way, about what are you scared to drive it up on the lift? If you don't want to, then you don't have to. If you don't know what kind of oil you had the last time, they're going to figure it out for you, and they make you feel good about it. So that's what I've always appreciated sending Lori over there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I always feel like with the girls, that's what I did in Florida. Was I always had female representation at the cashier station or a greeter position because it makes the women clientele feel more comfortable.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And there's absolutely I fire people if they try to upsell. They're not. You don't even get asked unless your air filter is just nasty. But gearbox services, fuel injection service, coolant flushes, tranny flushes. I don't. When I call over there, Janet tells me how many cars we've done.
Yeah.
I don't really care about the ticket average. I'm all the cars is what's important to me.
Sure.
And it's been, we're 2.5 years into it. at a 7-year projection where I thought I'd be in 7 years. And she's done it in two and a half.
Wow.
Yeah, they did
nice.
She called me one day, 92 cars in one day.
That's incredible.
That's awesome.
It doesn't surprise me though.
Yeah.
You guys really just have got it going on.
Running the business that way. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, that's fantastic. So glad you're with us, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for,
and just so glad you're in Monroe County, Bloomington, Ellettsville,
yes.
and now you know you have someplace to go that you can trust your wives and daughters to, and your own vehicle, and not just the Express Lube on Liberty Drive, but also to the 2-bay garage over here in Ellettsville. What's the address for that one?
5475 West State Road 46.
Very good. Chad.
Yeah.
A hometown hero.
This is our guy. I'm just proud to have Chad with us and his business.
Absolutely.
He represents what we represent here on the General Store.
Right. This is the kind of partners we like to have.
Absolutely.
So, Chad, thank you. And thank you for all you do for our community and for really having a heart for the community and keeping service and prices and customer service alive. It's a rare thing these days.
No doubt.
So, all right, stay close. We've got more coming at you from the General Store after this.
Farmers Insurance agent Christine Flynn put her experience to work for you. Christine Flynn proudly serves Monroe, Lawrence, and Greene County families and businesses and is ready to review your existing policies or provide a no-obligation quote today. Call Christine Flynn at 812-822-2905 to get smarter about your insurance. Again, that's Christine Flynn at 812-822-2905. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two.
We are farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Underwritten by Farmers Truck Fire Insurance Exchanges and Affiliates. Products not available in every state.
Just want to take a couple minutes to mention one of our newer sponsors here at the General Store, For Good Reasons Roofing. They're a family-owned roofing company serving South Central Indiana. For good reasons, they're going to be your local professional roof replacement, storm damage repair, also gutter installation services. They have deep ties to the community and are committed to doing what's right by their customers. They were founded on 4 simple reasons: honesty, integrity, quality, and kindness. When you choose For Good Reasons Roofing, you're going to know you're in good hands all the way from the start to the finish. With their transparent pricing quotes, commitment to the the highest quality of products, workmanship, and after installation follow-up. For Good Reasons, they're going to be your professional roofing company you've been looking for and can trust. Give them a call at area code 812-360-4469 or visit them on the web at forgoodreasons.com. That's the number 4, goodreasons.com. Tell them the crew at the General Store sent you.
Welcome back for the second half of today's episode. Is this episode 45? Is that what we decided?
Yes, we did decide that.
We are inching ever closer to that 1-year mark. Hard to believe.
It is hard to believe.
And we've grown so much. Let's be honest. When we started this, we didn't really know what we were doing. I mean, Mike and Carter did because they had actually had a podcast.
That's right.
Are your podcasts videos still up on YouTube?
They are. Carter and I took a look at them. Carter's been over a year ago. Yeah. So Carter.
Yeah. They knew. Thank goodness. That's the only reason we're standing today is because they were willing to work with us and help us and get us this far. And
definitely their fault.
Blame them.
Every bit of this.
yes, for sure. But we've just layered and layered. We had a great foundation with Mike and Carter, and then as the year has gone on, we've just, I think, gotten a little bit better on things. You obviously really growing the Facebook community, doing a great job there. And so one of the things and we've talked about this on a few occasions, you come up with some really good conversation starter questions, because we really do love engaging with you on Facebook and on social media. Kind of like sitting around the kitchen table, really, with family and talking about things and having a conversation.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll read down the answers and just laugh and, literally laugh out loud, right?
Oh, no.
Probably some of my answers.
Right. Yeah. I saw some Bonnie and Clyde answers.
Bonnie and Clyde. So that's what I was going to talk about. So the end of September, you had a question.
Yes.
Which I thought was really interested. That's you?
Bonnie and Clyde.
Okay. Yeah, it was funny. I was getting ready. I was going to actually
the
read
Christian
yours.
Bonnie and Clyde, by the way. It's
right.
Not the terrorist group.
Not the
no.
Not the bank robbers.
Right. Not those guys.
So you had posted end of September a question.
Yeah.
Multiple choice. What's harder for you to say? I'm sorry, I need help, or I love you, or something else? And Bonnie and Clyde, before we get to the reason why I'm bringing this up, Bonnie and Clyde said, I just read it a minute ago and laughed again. Bonnie and Clyde said, I was wrong. It never happens that I am, but I would imagine that if I was ever wrong and had to say I'm sorry, it'd be hard to say.
It'd be hard.
That's right. Pretty difficult.
That made me giggle. Because I totally feel that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you do.
Ask Perry.
It reminds me of I think the question we had, which bills do you hate to pay the most? And you said, I don't pay any of the bills.
Yeah,
so I'm good.
I don't have a problem with any of them.
I don't have a problem with any of them.
Perry pays all of them, so God bless him. God bless my husband. He's a good man. So, so I just found it really interesting on this particular post that I would say 99.98% of the answers were, it's hard for me to ask for help, or I need help, to reach out to people for help. And, we talked about this before the show. Men find it hard for sure, but almost all of the women also on this thread said it was hard for them, which I understand that too. I'll just drown, versus asking for help, whatever. So why are we like that?
It's amazing, because no matter how much mental health awareness is in the news and please ask, and this resource and that resource, and call this phone number and ask anybody, it's still viewed as a weakness. It still is. It's viewed as a weakness when I say, I need help. I can't do this. I can't do this on my own. I need help. And we've talked about it before. Guys have a harder problem with that.
Oh, yeah.
We're supposed to be the providers. The hunters.
The protectors.
You said that, the protectors. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it's tough, man. Admitting that, gosh, I can't do something when it comes to my family.
If I'm at home watching college football and I need help, and don't have to get up, I'm going to ask Janet.
Hey, for the cheese balls.
You don't have a problem.
Get a bucket of cheese balls and a Mountain Dew out of the fridge, please.
She brought that Mountain Dew here, I think, didn't she?
Wrapped in tin foil, 1985.
So Chad has
you don't have a problem asking for help.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I actually enjoy asking for help multiple times on the weekends.
He is trailblazing over there.
Man alive. Be a Chad.
Be a Chad. No doubt about it.
That's so funny.
I'm not saying she does it.
Right. Right. But you're asking for help.
I always ask for
help. That's great.
That's funny. That is
I
so
swallow my pride and ego and say, baby.
Honey, would you give me?
I love you.
Could you give me some cheese balls and a Mountain Dew?
And some wipes to wipe my fingers.
What is it you refer to her as online?
My smoking hot sugar mom.
Smoking hot sugar.
She is going to kill me.
That Janet is a lucky woman.
She is, man.
Lucky woman.
I'm actually pretty lucky with her. She's a good one.
She puts up with a lot. Does she laugh at you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. That's a good sign.
No matter.
Right. Laughing.
No,
good.
Because otherwise, I mean,
the alternative.
I think you have two choices with this at home. I think it's either you laugh and you're like, oh, he's so funny, or you're like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Right? No, but I think you're funny. But your wife, I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're exactly right. But she's perfect fit.
Yeah.
For Clyde over there.
Yeah. Bonnie's a good mate, huh?
Yeah, she absolutely hates social media. She hardly ever gets on it and stuff. And then, like, if I post something,
right.
Chad, and she'll be upstairs. It'll be gone.
Delete, backspace, delete. Chad, take it down.
Right. Yep. Right.
So she's your conscience.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yep.
There you go.
Kind of like Jiminy Cricket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I just found this interesting because, and Perry's the same way, won't ask for help. And now, but I think you guys are probably like this too. You're the first one to help though, when someone else needs it. You know what I mean? Like
it's
if
hard
you
to
see,
say no.
Yeah. Or even if someone doesn't ask and you see the need, Perry's really good about that. But I've actually sat down and had conversations with Perry about that. Is like, the Bible tells us, Jesus said, love God, right? And then love your neighbor.
Right.
Or love others as yourself or whatever.
Right.
And so there's not a better way. And I know this sounds weird, but when you allow someone to help you, you bless them. So don't always look at it as if I can help other people, if somebody's in need and I can help them, I'm able to bless them. Well, look at it in the reverse.
Right.
When you need help then, and you allow someone to come into your life and step in that gap for you and help you, they're receiving the blessing.
It's tough though, because I know with me anyway, I can't speak for all guys, but I know a lot of guys feel this way, is if you ask for help, you're weak, and then when you get help, you owe them.
Oh.
You owe them one. You
feel like you owe them.
I feel like, of course.
Right.
They would never say, well, I spent this much gas, you're going to have to cover my mileage and nothing like that. But you feel like, man, now I owe them. Mm-hmm. Which is a nasty cycle, really. It's a vicious cycle because it makes you not want to ask. It makes them not want to ask me, when we both have the resources and the know-how to do something, and we're keeping each other from helping and blessing each other, like you said.
Well, and I just think I try to, which drives my kids crazy, I really do try to look at everything at the end of every scenario in my mind about everything. I try to end it with God, right? And so then I think, well, what if we didn't ask Jesus for help? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, aren't we supposed, as Christ followers, we're supposed to pattern our life, try to, after him? You know what I mean? Like, all those things go through my mind too. Right. And it's like, in our weakness, we should also then, like, because you're talking about being weak. Follow me here, because I'm
with you.
No, but in your weakness, then also you got to ask God or Jesus for help too. You can't leave them out. But I do just think, what if Jesus, we go to him and ask for help. So and he freely gives it. Anyway, I just would encourage you to. Obviously, we all talk about helping others, right? We all want to go out and help others, but really allow others to help you, because you really are blessing other people. I love helping people, and when someone comes to me and asks, or if I see a need or whatever, I love to do that, right? Mm-hmm. You do too. But when you are that person that's reaching out and saying, I really need help, can you do this? And you know how it feels when someone, when you get to help someone. So do that for others as well. That's a real, I think, a true blessing.
Absolutely. I put tithing in there as well as always having that ready to go, and having like even a giving fund, if you will. You'll never miss it. Yep. You'll never miss it. If somebody needs it and you give it to them, you will never miss that, and it will come back to you how many folds. I mean, it is amazing. It is amazing. So,
but just make sure you're giving with a true giving spirit. God doesn't even want your money. Right. God, first of all, doesn't need it, right? He's going to do whatever he's going to do in his kingdom, regardless of whether you tithe or not, or whether it's 10% or whatever. And that was one thing that Jesus talked to about the older woman in the temple. She gave all she had, but it was like a
mite.
Yeah,
it was a mite.
Yeah, but it was everything she had, and it was
she gave 100%
and freely.
Yeah,
with a pure heart.
Right.
If you're every week given your tithe, then you're like, I'd rather
right.
It's not going to bless you, and he'd rather not have it.
Right.
Which is the same way with giving to others. When you do help others, don't do it cursing under your breath, because then there's no blessing in it for anyone.
Right, takes it away. No doubt about it.
And with the tithing, like you said, more than just the church tithing, like with me and my business, I give throughout the year on different not fundraisers, but like people
charitable organizations or things.
Well, and I know 90% of my customers. I know them. I know their families, and I know when they're going through hard times. Yeah. And I'll fix their car and say, we'll get you next time,
right.
Stuff like that. But on where Jesus takes care of me, I feel, is like this past summer, I had a good friend get colon cancer, recovered, all good, but we did a fundraiser. He came to me and goes, hey, I'm going to have a golf scramble and bring awareness colon cancer. And I was like, well, look, let me take the lead on this for you. And I got the radio station involved, and we raised $35,000.
Oh, my word.
That ain't because of me, all the things I did. That was the Lord blessing that
effort
foundation.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not Chad's Express Lube.
Right.
Not Chad's Repair and Service, but he blessed Brad's foundation.
Yeah.
Same with, you guys had Michael Doring, and we did a big thing for him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just said, I'll give $1 to the Doring family for an oil change. And we had a record month and other things, and donation buckets. And, that's just what we do throughout the year, helping somebody out.
Outstanding.
How the lesson in my talk is what the Lord will do for you if you're faithful.
Yes. Amen.
If you love him.
Yeah. That's right.
And you go to him when you need help.
Right.
That's right.
You're not going to find your help in earthly things.
Well, thank God that he's given you that platform too.
Yes. And that you use it. And that you're faithful to use that. So many aren't. When God blesses us, we have to give those blessings. We don't keep those blessings.
No.
We pass them on to others, and then he blesses us more, right?
Yeah.
So we can bless more.
Right.
So
it's this whole big blessing circle.
I love
Kumbaya around the campfire.
Yes. Amen to that.
I love my Father, my Heavenly Father, and I love Jesus. They are so good. If you don't know them, if you want to talk, message us. We would love to talk to you about our Jesus, our Lord and Savior. Well, Chad, thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for partnering with us here at the General Store. Thank you for, again, all you do in the community. It's great to have you. It's great to have you with us. And if it's the Lord's will, we'll do this all again next Friday in the 1 o'clock hour here at the General Store.